To build the God Squad that you've always wanted, or to get some startup coins for sniping, use code FRIENDLY at discountmutcoins.com for 10% off your order. What's up YouTube? I'm back with another video for you guys. Today, this is actually the second upload. I already uploaded one video, and in that video, if you didn't miss it, I did talk about 3 tips that could easily make you coins. I talked about sniping, but I also said in that video, if that video got 40 likes by the afternoon, I'll just be uploading a video just detailing some sniping features for you guys to use. So, you guys definitely smashed that. I'm pretty sure it's above 50 already, but what I'm going to be talking about first off, we're just going to get into kind of like a basic auction house, what you're supposed to do when you're sniping and what you need. Then I'll actually get into some sniping filters for you guys to use. So this possibly could be a little longer of a video, but let's just get started. So 2 things you need to know. First off, you have to decide whether you want to use buy now or newest. So sometimes it's actually good to use buy now. Sometimes when a new promo comes out, there's a lot of low players that just drop for dirt cheap, and you could easily pick them up for super cheap, but you're gonna have to stay on buy now. Most people, and most of the sniping filters I'm gonna talk about today, we're gonna be sticking on newest. That's because on newest, what you're trying to do is try to find 59 minutes. So something like 88 to 89, you could already see 59 minutes. That's because there aren't that many cards up, and I actually need to know what that Mel Blunt sells for. Okay, because last night he was selling for like 300 plus K, and I was gonna impulse buy that for a second, but I just had to check his price. So yeah, what you're trying to do is you're trying to find 59 minutes. The reason sometimes you might not be seeing 59 minutes, like in the case of 80 to 81, once it loads, there we go. The reason we're not seeing 59 minutes and we're seeing 15 minutes is because there's a lot more quantity on 80 to 81, which means these 100 cards that are on that you're seeing right now are the closest to expiring. You could see some of them are expiring right now. So that's why you're not seeing 59 minutes, is because the 100 most recent cards, or most old cards that are about to expire, those are the cards that you're seeing. On 88 to 89, there's barely 100 cards. There might be exactly 100 cards, or just a little bit less than 100 cards. So that's why we could see 59 minutes on that. Just a couple of things to get started. Secondly, since you're always trying to go for 59 minutes, you're always trying to keep it consistent too. You don't want something where you're seeing 59 minutes, but it's just an illusion of you trying to see 59 minutes. So something like if I go to 80 to 81 and then go on QB, and you can see I see 59 minutes, but is this really a good filter though? If I'm just refreshing on this, you might find 1 or 2 snipes here and there, but believe me, this is not what you're looking for. You're looking for something where you're getting a lot of snipes. This is not a filter that you're gonna get a lot of snipes on, where you're just on one position, on one overall, and you're just hitting refresh. Something like going position by position though, that can work, except right now I would personally not do it on any of the overalls. 80 to 81, it might work out a little bit, but it's still not as great as some of the other filters. I just needed to get all those things out of the way so that you guys can get a basic understanding of how to actually find a good sniping filter. You're always trying to filter out. So like I said already, you could use position by position. You could use letter by letter. Letter by letter is one of my favorite ones to do because it's so simple, yet not a lot of people I see use it. Most people use position by position. Some people use cap values, which cap values, again, those are pretty good also. But letter by letter, you just have to find some good letters, and if you're seeing 59 minutes on them, you just have to go through those letters and just hope you find a snipe. It actually works out pretty well most of the time. So yeah, you could basically do it 3 ways. Either going position by position, letter by letter, or cap value, and yeah, flip through cap values. Right now, since it's early on in the year, there's not a lot of stuff going down in here. Most of the stuff lies in actually the first 3, except for the 0 to 10. So, you know, cap values, maybe not want to do it right now. There's also team by team, but I wouldn't do that on one overall. I would do it on something like elite team by team. Actually, I forgot to mention one thing. I forgot to talk about this completely, and it's actually a really big point. Always know your prices. Personally, I do not like sniping golds. Golds maybe at the very start of the year, but I don't like it anymore, especially when you get a lot of coins. Sniping golds just isn't it. What you always want to do is you're always going to want to look at these lower overalls, because you could always sell it for this price. This price that you see right here, the ones that aren't the newest cards, but are more than likely going to sell. For example, right here, Kendall Fuller for 11,000, even though, let me go on the Chiefs real quick, because there's more than likely 2 or 3 Kendall Fullers that are a lot cheaper. And you can see 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 Kendall Fullers that are cheaper than the one that that person bought. But the reason they bought it is because there's a lot of people that do not know how to filter out the market, and you got to take advantage of that. So just keep in mind, you could snipe 80s for like 8, 9K. Don't sell it for what the next cheapest one is. Sell it for something like 11K. They'll easily sell. 80 to 81s are about the same price. 82 to 83 though, there's a difference. A little bit difference, but there's still a difference. Like 82s are selling for about 17, 18,000, but 83s, where's the first 83? Is there even an 83? Where? There it is. First 83s around 25, 26,000. You can see these actually sold. So this is how you look for prices on what to sell these for. And this is basically what you call overpricing. I talked about this a lot last year. Definitely take advantage of overpricing whenever you can, because there's a lot of stupid people on the auction house, and just remember, you have to take advantage of them. But once you get into a little bit of higher overalls, of course, later in the year, these are still going to count as lower overall. But right now, since it's the start of the year, these are higher overalls. So 84 to 85, though, this is where it starts kind of becoming a blur between, do you want to overprice or do you just want to sell it for the cheapest? Because most of the time, what you're overpricing for is the cheapest one. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes you might even get lucky and sell, but I'm pretty sure these are the cheapest ones for those cards anyway. And then once you get up to 86 to 87, though, there's really no point in overpricing. Not a lot of people are going to buy them for this overpriced price. That was kind of a tongue twister. Whatever I was trying to say. No one's going to buy it for these prices, because these are the cheapest prices. And sometimes you're going to need a snipe. You're going to need to put it up for a snipe. Well, not really a snipe, just 1 or 2K cheaper on these higher overall cards, so that they even sell. So yeah, needed to get that out of the way. Completely forgot to mention that. But so now let's get into some sniping filters. So elite team by team works pretty well right now. I was actually before using position by position, but it does not really work after the launch yesterday, because there's a lot of cards flooded on the market. Of course, you can still use it. You can still go on positions that aren't basically skill positions. That's all. That's basically it sums it up. Like QB, running back, wide receiver, cornerback. If you skip those positions, you're more than likely able to find a good filter or good positions to use. Like offensive lineman might work. I was actually looking at that Derek Brooks price. I could have possibly picked that up, but it would have been like a 1K profit. But I don't know if I could have sold it for a little bit more. Yeah, it does not look like it, so good thing I didn't pick it up. I just needed to make sure. But yeah, going on positions that aren't skill positions, you could do it. Sometimes I even like doing something like going on a cap value. As I was talking before, cap values, you could use them to filter out, and you could kind of mix and match too. So something like a 21 to 30 cap value, that's gonna remove all the other players. So you might actually have a chance of going on these skill positions. Let's see if this actually works right now. I haven't actually looked at this today, but you can see this works. QB, 59 minutes. Running back, 59 minutes, hopefully. Nope, running back definitely does not work. That means more than likely wide receiver isn't gonna work, because wide receiver has even more quantity than running back. Cornerback probably isn't gonna work. So maybe you want to go on something like a tight end. Maybe you want to go on the linebackers. Maybe you want to go on the left, right end. There's a lot of other positions besides the skill positions, but most of the people look to skill positions because those are the positions with the most quantity, which means those are usually the positions where you find a lot more snipes. So maybe you want to switch the cap value to 11 to 20, and that would work. But like I said, mix and match. Try to find a filter that you feel comfortable with, and where you're finding a lot of snipes, maybe it's a filter that no one is looking at, so you aren't being competed against. 11 to 20 definitely does not work because there's not that many cards that have 11 to 20. Maybe 31 to 40 works. This is where most of the higher cards are gonna stay. So maybe if you don't have these coins, just look somewhere else. So if you don't have a lot of coins, you could look at something just like sniping 80 to 81s, maybe 82 to 83s. And that's where I usually like going letter by letter, or going to cap value and then trying out a letter by letter. Sometimes letter by letter itself, there's probably a lot of letters that do not work, but sometimes, like usually early in the morning, late at night, when there's not a lot of people on, there's not a lot of quantity on it, so letter by letter works pretty well then too. So you can see 82 to 83, W works, C probably does. Nope, C does not. So we're gonna skip C. G more than likely does. W and G are usually my go-tos. You can see G works. You just have to find like 4 or 5 letters that you could kind of go between and hopefully find some snipes. Like John Elway. Do I want to pick that up? I'm not gonna pick it up. I could possibly sell it for like 18,000, but I would kind of be on the risky side, and that would actually be exactly 1,000, but it would be way too risky of 1,000. So we're not gonna take that. But yeah, letter by letter could also work. But like I said, probably team by team is your best bet. So another thing to keep in mind if you don't want to go through the overalls. Actually, I forgot to mention this before we actually go on to the programs. You could go to 84 to 85. You might not see 59 minutes on it though, but you could usually just go all offense, all defense. It might not work as well right now because it is the evening and there's a lot of people online, so that means a lot more quantity. You see it gets close, so if you do it a little earlier, around noon, late at night, this is definitely going to work, going all offense, all defense. And you can see defense actually works pretty well, so it's just the offensive part that doesn't work. But if you got a lot of coins and you want to go for the big ballers, maybe you just want to go to 86 to 87 and flip between 86 to 87 and 88 to 89 and snipe that way and just hope you get a big snipe. Usually with the higher overalls, I'm looking for at least like a 5k profit. If I'm taking that big of a risk to risking my coins, I want a big return, or at least a decent return. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you're going for higher overalls, try to get a better return than a 1,000 coin profit on the 88 to 81, which, don't get me wrong, those are definitely great. So finally, what I wanted to talk about is programs. Whenever there's a new program, use it to your advantage. There's going to be a lot of snipes, but right now, the 2 basic programs that are going to work are Legends and Power-Ups. There's no point in going to these 5. So Power-Ups, there's 3 categories. Of course, there's the silvers, the high silvers, and then they're split up into 2 golds, the lower and the higher overall. So I'm pretty sure none of these you're going to be able to see 59 minutes on, but I could be wrong. You could before on the silver one, but you can't anymore just because there's a lot more people on, so there's a lot more cards. You're not going to be able to do all offense, all defense either. So you're definitely going to have to use letter by letter. Letter by letter on power-ups is definitely great, but power-ups though, most of them are going to be going for super cheap, but there's a lot that go for a lot. Tyreek Hill, Jadeveon Clowney. I'm trying to think of other ones, but nothing's popping up in my head right now. Zeke is probably going for a lot. Marshawn Lattimore definitely is going for a lot. So maybe you want to go on gold and then go letter by letter. Do it that way. That definitely works. Then the other program, Legends. I like sniping it, but maybe this weekend, once we get Legend Fantasy Packs, which I'm just guessing, but we're more than likely going to be getting Legend Fantasy Packs this weekend. On Saturday, probably have a video out sniping these legends, because that's when it'll be prime time to snipe these. But some of these legends are going to be going for a lot, and some of them will be dropping in price, of course. So you can see legends can't really do all offense, all defense, but if we just filter out just a little bit, let's put in like 21 to 30. That's where we'll probably see the lower overall cards. And yeah, there we go. This works. Yeah, John Elway right here. Can we get this? Did we get it? Yeah, we did. Okay, for some reason my Xbox is super slow, but that's because I have the original Xbox. I haven't even bought the XS, whichever one's the better one. I don't really know if I want to spend my money on buying a new one, especially with a new Xbox or Project Scorpio, whatever it's called, coming out. But we're just going to put it up for $24,450. Maybe if it gets really bad, which it looks like it's getting pretty bad, I might have to upgrade before I move into my apartment or after I move into my apartment. But yeah, maybe you want to do, maybe this filter looks pretty nice. 21 to 30 on legends, and we're actually going to pick this up too, just because I know I could easily sell them for $24,450, which unfortunately we missed that. But yeah, this is definitely another filter. This is probably looking like a nice filter. This might be a filter that I use a lot. But that is going to do it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy this brief sniping, or not brief anymore, it's kind of a longer video, but hopefully you enjoyed this sniping tutorial. Hopefully that starting information helped, and some of those filters, like for me, top 2 right now is probably that legend filter that I just showed you guys. I didn't really use that. I'm just showing you guys how to filter it out, but that filter right there, that actually looked like a promising filter. And then another one, of course, is that elite team by team. Just find some teams that do have a lot more quantity than the others. Some of them, like the Bengals we saw, didn't have a lot of quantity, so you might just want to skip those. Find maybe 10 teams that work out really well, maybe 15, and go to those. Don't go to all of them. That's just going to be wasting your time, and you're possibly going to be missing a lot of snipes. So those are probably my top 2 filters, but if you don't have a lot of coins, just go on like 80 to 81, 82 to 83, and just go letter by letter on newest. You're going to be fine. And yeah, that is going to be it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to smash that much like I tell us my videos. Thanks for watching. Peace out.